Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily or Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Friday, November 7th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5-card spread? First two cards we are starting our day off with today is the Six of Cups in its upright in combination with the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this is actually really intriguing because I was actually online yesterday earlier this morning doing readings for those who are across the world from me. But, one of the things that was coming up over and over and over and over and over and over again, and the card would not stay in the deck, was the Six of Cups, but it was in its reversal. And the thing about the Six of Cups in its reversal, and we got to work through this a little bit. We got to talk about this because this is what we talk about, like the space by which we understand the ability to heal is the space by which we recognize and understand how we're ready to fix our hearts. And this is why that when we work through energetic connections to a certain extent, and I feel like there's something important about going through the process or the work of understanding and not overly externalizing external problems. Because when someone is in a state or space by which they are energetically projecting upon us, the way you can usually tell that someone is projecting upon you is when nothing you do seems like it is energetically correct. That is the power or the space of projection. It's the identification point in being able to articulate and identify the difference between what feels beneficial, right? What feels like something that can energetically be worked upon or energetically resolved versus working through the energetic frustrations of the self, right? And so I feel like this is coming through very significantly right now in relationality to those moon relationships that we articulated upon. Because everything I keep on reading about, and reading in terms of the energy that's coming into partnership right now, and for our purposes, when I talk about moon relationships, I'm speaking about the relationships that are coming together between now that Uranus has gone retrograde, up until the present, right? The modality or experience by which it feels like one is always like, I feel like there's a lot of the energy right now that's coming together that's working upon being unfiltered with one another. And the reason I keep on seeing that the energy is working on being unfiltered with one another has to do, and I keep on hearing there's a caveat to being unfiltered. It's the space by which we understand and identify that as long as we've done the healthy work to clear our own heart space, right? The space by which we work, and this is why we also talk about the space by which we work towards our highest self, is one that is often corrective, right? It's not holding on to something and feeling fundamentally firm in relationality to it being the right modality. It's a constant curvature by which we identify and work towards understanding and identifying what we could be doing better, what we could energetically refine more. And so I keep on seeing that this is the energy that articulates upon the fact that as long as they're working on the refinement of the self earns the right to be energetically unfiltered, because it's the ability to kind of identify and recognize what exists there that allows one to be able to work upon something better. And that's what's kind of beautiful about these moon relationships that we see that are happening right now. There's a little bit of like, I keep on getting, there's a lot of like nuanced architecture in relationality to kind of speaking. Like, I feel like it's like, it's tender because it's like talking about something, pulling backwards, talking about something, pulling backwards a bit too, right? Because I keep on seeing that is the sound of gentle growth, right? They're not pushing hard upon something, but they're articulating upon something that has meaning to them. And I keep on seeing that the space by which they're, like, I keep on getting the space by which they're energetically feeling each other out is also, I keep on getting, helping them understand and recognize and heal from past experiences. Because you'll recall that we spoke about, for a lot of these relationships, they're working through the lesson that when we when we dilute ourselves, we often fall into relationships that are built upon energetic delusions. So that's why we keep on seeing that this is the energy. It's interesting too, because it's interesting because it's very much in alignment with the energy that we have deep within divine union, because I was talking about the fact that there's a lot of hermit energy here. And again, I'm not surprised to see hermit energy because of all the retrograde, but it's like the modality of contemplation by which they're working through and understanding upon, like it's percolating, like and these are the relationships that are effectively percolating in that, because I keep on seeing that's a little bit like I told you, like and it's funny too, because when the energy was more in Scorpio, when we had Mars and Mercury in Scorpio together, there was more of a feeling of like there was more of a feeling of energetic confrontation there. This feels more brave is the best way to describe it. Now, for the energy that's moving deeper into divine union right now, can I please get clarification? Center card for today's spread. And for our purposes, when I'm talking about the energy coming into divine union, I'm speaking specifically upon those temperance relationships. So these are the relationships that were coming together between the time of Uranus stationing retrograde up until the solstice period that we experienced. Can I get one card to clarify? Wow, King of Cups. This is good. Because this is very positive, but I want to describe it right now. For a lot of those temperance relationships, it's emotional, and I want to describe it. I feel like it's different right now for masculine and feminine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. And there's something I'm seeing in relationality to that work, in the quality and condition of, I feel like that I keep on hearing for like the energy coming into divine union, and it's like, it's weird because like I start reading into it and I almost like want to cry. Like there's something about healing from preconceptions is what I keep on getting. And why am I getting some kind of modality or experience of like working through the context of preconceptions? Because, and I can see why, these temperance relationships, when they came together, they identified strength in one another. Remember how I described those temperance relationships of being like the complete opposite of what we see with these moon relationships? They immediately recognized the strength in counterpart. And the ability, I feel like the ability of them to be able to work through the context of fully identifying and fully experiencing or fully working towards like the emotionality of something is what I keep on seeing. Some kind of like working through some kind of space by which they see or identify the energetic vulnerability of, like, I keep on hearing the shape of where the strength came from, as it were. That's why I keep on seeing that there's like the energy right now, like as they're sanctifying the relationships, they're also healing a lot of inner child wounds, because I kept on seeing the reason that this work is so difficult for some of these relationships that are coming together right now is because with the proximity of Chiron and Eris almost on top of each other, it's not just the fact that they're feeling energetically emotional upon the past of counterpart. It's sitting directly on the energetic trigger of the energy itself. And that's what I meant in relationality to them kind of working through the space of their emotions, but allowing the emotions to move through them instead of creating some kind of modality of volatility. I keep on getting there's a deepening of emotionality there. There's a deepening and there's a centering. Now this brings us to the magician relationships, and those are the relationships that were coming together. For the purposes of our read, we always read on the energy that most recently entered divine union. And for our purposes, those were the relationships that were coming together between the solstice period up until the time of Mercury and Venus stationing direct behind Neptune. Can I get 2 cards to clarify, please? We've got, we've got the five of cups in its upright and the 7 of swords in its upright. Man, and this is what I mean about these energies right now being so different to read for, because I want to describe like the energy that I'm reading for right now. There's something very Capricorn that I'm picking up right now for the new, like for the energy that's coming into divine union. I want to figure out where that's coming from, but the energy that's moving into divine union right now, it's feeling much more Piscean. But the energy that is that, and I think that this makes sense. The reason I feel that the energy deep within divine union right now is working through or feeling scorpionic is because we also understand that Mercury is moving back into Scorpio. And the thing about it is the reason that there's so much, like I keep on getting that the energy right now deep within divine union is working on letting go and not harboring. And the reason I keep on getting the space by which they're working to let go of something and not harbor is I keep on getting that when you see, like when you identify, and I have to describe this with these magician relationships. These magician relationships came together. They've never been in a relationship as centered as the one that they've currently been in. They've been in relationship before, but a centered partnership is very, very different than just being in relationship. And that ability of working through that, I keep on seeing, and that's where the word steadfast keeps on coming through, because it's the space or place by which the energy feels that stability. They know in their hearts that what they're doing, like they're moving in the right direction. But that modality, and that's what I meant about them also kind of going through hermit mode. So there's a lot of alignment right now between the energy in separation and the energy moving deep within divine union. Because that observation or that recognition of working through the understanding of purpose, and I keep on hearing the purpose of partnership and working through that to a certain extent. I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, it's heavy, because I keep on getting, if they're going through a modality or experience that they've never felt better, but something else, someone outside of partnership has never been worse, I keep on seeing that is the energy that is working through. I told you that pseudo Saturn return that was almost triggered when we had Saturn move back into Pisces, which is the space by which I keep on seeing that I keep on hearing it's identifying the nature of energetic celebration, right? It's often that's why we often talk about the space by which we can understand that we're going through a maturation point is when the words come through our mouth. Why can't you be happy for me, right? It's the amplification that our joy is something that is mutually shared. So I feel like there's something about that is painful, because even in the space, remember how I articulated that the energy in separation is going through some sort of inner child healing. So too is the energy deep within divine union, but they're finding catharsis in counterpart as they do so. Continuing to get clarification between our 6 of Cups in its upright in combination with our 8 of Pentacles in its upright. One card to clarify. Ace of Wands. This is good. This is a very nice spread that we're seeing today. And if you'd like to see the full spread, I'll have it posted as a photo when we post it over on the stack. I feel like the nice thing, and I like this. This is what I like about a Taurus full moon in Scorpio. Here's like Taurus full moon in Scorpio energy is like, did I stutter in the best way possible? It's like, but I need to point this out, and I like this because it's interesting, because when I say did I stutter, it's also the contemplation of the self. It's all the different modalities by which one works through something. And so I think it's interesting, because I think that the reason that those words are coming up is when we're building into the reliable, like when we're building into the confidence of the self, then it allows for the space by which we understand and we work towards things with certainty. Well, and I think that there's something here as well that is important in relationality to reaffirmation, is what I keep on seeing. It's a reaffirming moon, which is interesting. It's not just about, it's a reaffirming moon, which is the space by which one goes back towards something to feel like, I feel like, to feel energetically reaffirmed about it. And what's interesting about that is that reaffirmation process often, often allows that, I keep on getting, often allows that point of energetic stabilization by which we, like I keep on seeing, by which we, reaffirmation is refinement, as it were. It's reaffirmation is refinement by which we're able to articulate and work through something. But also, it also allows the context of internal calibration. And so what's interesting about this is the did I stutter, or that contemplation, the internal, like the internal contemplation is happening right now for a lot of the energy that is in separation, right? It's the space by which they're articulating and identifying and speaking towards something in a way that feels like, and I keep on getting, it's almost like the energy that is like clarifying upon itself in order to be able to do something more effectively. So I keep on getting, there's like a lot of the work that's happening right now for those relationships that are coming together through, I keep on hearing like through the process of processing, like I keep on hearing an internal operation made external. So that I keep on getting, they're talking through something, they're they're expressing upon it. And even like I keep on seeing that, like it's interesting too, because remember how I said that some of this energy that's coming together right now is it's interesting. It's like I almost feel like the energy that's articulating to each other about whether they feel like they overstepped. Because remember how I said that for a lot of those relationships, they're working on being energetically unfiltered. So remember how I said that there's like a little bit of a glacier quality to these relationships that are coming together right now. So it's like pushing forward and then pulling back. Pushing forward and pulling back. It's like courage and then contemplation, courage and then contemplation, courage and then contemplation, you know? But for the energy that's coming into, like for the energy that's coming into divine union, clarification between our Seven of Pentacles and our King of Cups energy. Can I get one card to clarify? Wow. We've got double 8 energy right now. We got double 8 energy. Double 8 energy for the energy that's coming into divine union. And I keep on getting, it's a lot to contemplate, is what I keep on getting. And the reason, and it's like, and it's funny too, because I would not be surprised if you went to those temperance relationships and you said to them, how are you doing? They'll be like, now or in 5 minutes? That's what I keep on, now or 5 minutes ago, now or 5 minutes going forward. Because the thing I keep on seeing is, and the way I keep on identifying that's happening right now for those temperance relationships is there is something that is happening. Okay, and this is what is so difficult for these temperance relationships right now. I just need to walk you through it. It's very complicated, but let me try to do my best to explain. These relationships are going through a modality of experience by which they're identifying and they're learning more about one another. And something about the nature by which one of them had to heal is sitting directly on the trigger of the counterpart. It's sitting directly on a trauma trigger of the counterpart. It's something that creates a lot of emotion. It's something that creates a lot of emotion because it's not just the fact that the counterpart is experiencing it, but they have a reason to desire to make it personal, is what I keep on seeing. And so for a lot of the energy, doing that work, like a lot of the identification point in being able to articulate and express upon that. I keep on seeing it's like the energy that feels like the modality of what it is that they feel. Like it's like the wash of the emotions, and then again, they're channeling it into healthy spaces. They're immediately channeling it. They're immediately channeling it into a healthy space. They're putting it into a productive. They're going like right in, like they're just moving it immediately into something that feels like it's energetically productive. And I keep on hearing they're continuing to work through Neptune lessons, which is the energy that says that they're sanctifying the healing journey of the counterpart. Because I keep on seeing the energy that is articulating and identifying and saying to one another that modality of expression. They keep on saying it. Like I keep on seeing that this is the energy that says that being energetically respective for the fact that the counterpart has healed from something. They're not reawakening the past by doing energetically something about it. So I keep on getting there's a lot of emotionality there, but then like just immediately processing it into something that feels like it's productive. Coming back into those magician relationships, clarification between our King of Cups in its upright and our Five of Cups in its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through. Page of Swords. Absolute opposite. I mean, the thing is, and I keep on getting when I'm reading, and this is what I meant about the energy that is coming into Divine Union, working through Neptune lessons right now, and the energy that's moving deep into Divine Union, working through Saturn lessons, because the articulation point is don't touch it. It's like, don't touch it, but don't touch it in different ways, because the energy in the energy coming into Divine Union is working through a Neptune lesson with counterpart, which is to say, if the counterpart has healed from something in the past, and I touch something from the past becomes the present, and now the counterpart has to deal with it all over again. And that's why I keep on seeing the energy that is saying don't touch it, because they're saying don't touch it for the temperance relationships, because they're saying I'm not going to waste all the energy that a counterpart took to heal from something by allowing the emotions, allowing the indulgent emotions of what would feel satisfying to erase the work that another has done to effectively heal. But for the energy coming into Divine Union, these magician relationships, these are the energies that are saying I can't touch it, because they recall, they remember, and a past experience of the self. They know what it feels like. Like I keep on seeing the energy, and that's why it hurts. Remember how I said that the energy right now coming into Divine Union, it's hard because something about the counterpart's past journey is sitting directly on a trauma trigger. Trauma builds triggers in weird places, so it feels energetically triggering, and they're just allowing themselves to feel through it instead of act upon it. Whereas like the energy that's deep within Divine Union right now is seeing something ridiculous outside of relationship. That's often what we see when we're going through maturation lessons. We're like, what is this ridiculousness? There's something about, and I keep on seeing there's something about that. The reason that the reason that it feels energetically ridiculous is due to the fact that we just keep on seeing that for a lot of those relationships or a lot of those circumstances, this is the energy that knows in their hearts that they're in the right place. Like I keep on getting, they're in a relationship where they've never felt more centered before. They've never felt better. They've never felt more grounded. And that's the energy that, again, when they know that they're in the right place. And it's interesting too, because the energy within Divine Union, coming into the energy that's coming into Divine Union, or the energy in separation, is working on knowing that their heart's in the right place and working on being unfiltered. But the energy deep within Divine Union knows that they are in the right place. Is what I keep on seeing. They're going through placement lessons. They're like, they know exactly where they need to be. And that's why they see if somebody else is going through volatility in relationality to another person being where they know that they need to be. That's the energy that articulates upon the understanding that often the amplification of knowing and identifying and working towards what is best, it's not energetically easy. right? And I keep on seeing, and I keep on hearing that energy that's almost saying like my best should not, like our best should not distress another, because often the space by which we articulate or amplify and can have a conversation on it, I keep on seeing that the energy is almost open to a conversation, but they're not forcing a conversation, because that's the space by which they're giving someone the space they need to work through something. Even in the modality, and this is bringing us back to what we were speaking upon before we started the reading, that often goes through like the recognition of when we identify that another is projecting upon us. That when another person is feeling energetically volatile about us and we say, what would you have me do? Right? The amplification and the articulation and being able to identify and recognize that, that is usually the force or the power of a projection, because you can amplify and articulate the shape by which something can be changed, or the shape by which something can be modified. So that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, it's the energy that feels like they're always ready to have a conversation, but they're not going to be effectively try to force one. Continuing to get into getting clarity between our 5 of Cups in combination with our 7 of Swords and its upright, we've got here the Knight of Swords. Now we got to talk about this, because the thing about, here's the thing about it. And this is why, like, I got to tell you, there's some energy coming towards each other right now into union that is highly triggered. And the reason that they're highly triggered is because I keep on getting some of this energy that is coming towards one another in the modality of feeling the experience or the expression of not being able to articulate the ability of doing something correct, right? The modality by which I keep on getting, the modality by which we identify or work towards what feels I keep on getting, this is energy that is healing from another person's misplaced projections. Healing from another person's misplaced projections. And the reason I keep on seeing this is, and that's what often happens when we're not in, but here's the other thing I keep on seeing with this energy and separation. They're taking accountability for it. Here's the thing about it. I see this energy and separation. They're healing from another person's energetic projections, but they're also taking accountability in relationality to what they themselves are working to change. And this is why I keep on getting they're coming towards one another undiluted, right? The reason that they're coming towards one another undiluted is because I keep on seeing that there's something about that journey, that there's something about the past experience, that the energy that's coming into union is recognizing that they were not being, I keep wondering that they were not being absolutely energetic, authentic in some way. Or I keep on getting, that they were, how do I describe it? And as soon as I started reading for this, like, I got like a blockage. But like they weren't being their authentic, I keep wondering, they weren't being authentic, but they're also like, it's like they're blaming themselves for having not had enough courage in some kind of past experience. But that's what I meant in terms of the energy. I keep on getting, they're trying courage on, and they're trying courage on. They're trying courage on right now in these relationships. They're like, I keep on hearing they're stepping out of their comfort zone, because again, we often see this when we're going through Taurus cycles, like the work that we understand that the only way to find a comfort zone is to be willing to step out of one, is what I keep on getting. Continuing to get clarification between our Ace of Wands and its upright in combination with our Eight of Swords and its reversal. One card to clarify, please. King of Swords. There is a lot. I got to just tell you, and make sure if you have a moment to head over to my stack after we do this reading, where you'll find the podcast, but you'll also be able to see the cards, because I'll be posting a photo of the spread. I got to tell you right now, we've got 3 of the 5 sword suites. No, we've got 3 of the 4 sword suites out on the table. We've got the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Swords. The only thing we're missing right now is the Queen of Swords. Like, the only thing we're seeing that's missing right now is the Queen of Swords. But And I want to describe this. And that's what I meant, right? Like that's what I meant in relationality to working through some of that hermit energy that I spoke about. Because the thing I keep on seeing with this, and it's gonna feel different for masculine and feminine energy. Bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. And I keep on seeing it is I keep on getting it is the space by which we articulate and identify and work to be energetically understood is what I keep on seeing. And remember how I said, like, the one thing I do not want you doing during retrograde seasons, like the one that we're currently experiencing, is assuming anything. Like, this is not, like, please let this be an assumption-free zone. Because one of the things that we see and we're identifying and we're working towards right now has to do with understanding and identifying what feels. I keep on getting what feels. And I like to see these two cards together. I like to see a King of Swords and an Ace of Wands, right? Because the modality by which we see these cards together speaks to us about the integration of idea and action, right? It's the integration of idea and action. It's the merging together of those spaces. And for a lot of the energy doing that work, I keep on seeing, and this has to do, and it's going to have a different impact depending on the frequency cycles, the understanding of the work that we do, or the modality by which we do it, or the nature by which we articulate upon something. And so I feel like that's what I mean about those moon relationships right now. There's something significant and important as it relates to working towards the desire to understand. And what I like about this is, for the energy that's in separation, I feel like this is the gift of them asking each other a lot of questions, right? Like there's the space by which I almost feel like there's this modality by which I almost feel like it's like, I want to describe this. Like I have this like I'm picking up upon, for this energy in separation, almost going through some kind of past history and then saying to another, would you have approached something differently? Is there something there that you yourself would have done different? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. I told you, because I remember how I said that these are moon relationships. So there's a lot of healthy mirroring there, because I keep on getting, like, when we're working through moon relationships, healthy mirror is the space by which we articulate to another. And then we articulate and define and say, like, would you have taken that same approach, right? It's like, it's the contemplation by which we fortify upon something. And then we feel that same sense of recognition or resolution in relationality to feeling energetically reaffirmed. Remember how I said the reaffirmation? So this is how these energies are coming together right now. They're learning and they're reaffirming, which is they're giving each other their own perspective in relationality to something, or simultaneously they are articulating to each other. They're reaffirming that they see something in the same way that they themselves do. So I keep on getting, for the energy that's coming to those moon relationships, learning and reaffirming, learning and reaffirming. Now, for the energy that is coming into divine union, for a lot of the energy that's coming into divine union right now, the same message of learning and reaffirming is coming through. But what's interesting about that has to do with the identification point of learning more about counterpart. They're learning more about counterpart. and they're reaffirming their energetic commitment to the sanctity of the partnership that they're creating with counterpart. Because I keep on seeing that they're understanding and recognizing that the way that we heal isn't about going back to something to feel good, right? It's none of this come back here energy, right? It's not grabbing the past and being like, now I'm here, you have to deal with me. It's the energy that is allowing the past to remain in the past and putting that energetic concentration on the present, building into that space. I keep on hearing that for like the one thing that's beautiful about these temperance relationships is they keep on hearing the message, the best way to heal from the past is to have your hands very firmly planted in the ground of the present, which is the space by which, again, the past is not resolved by going back to it. The past is resolved by doing something energetically different in the present. So that's why I keep on seeing that that is a lot of the energy that is working on healthy channeling. Clarification for the energy moving deep within divine union right now, those magician partnerships between our 8 of Swords in its reversal and our Page of Wands in its reversal. Woo, we got that 2 of Pentacles coming up right now. Opposite, like the thing with the energy deep within divine union right now, it's actually like, I keep on getting for the energy, I am frustrated reading for the magician relationships right now. I am frustrated reading for the magician relationships right now because I keep on seeing that working through this space, right? These situations or circumstances that we're identifying, particularly with this 2 of Pentacles energy. The thing I keep on seeing in relationality to that is like, I keep on hearing you can't go in and change someone's feelings about something. You can't go in and change. I keep on hearing the energy that says like they're not getting into conflict in conflict. But I want to say, it's funny that I was about to say conflict, but instead I said conflict because I want to take a note. Yeah, because it's the energy that says that when someone's projecting, nothing we do is ever the right energetic action, right? Like when someone's projecting, it's like nothing that we articulate or define feels like it's energetically correct. And so that's why I keep on seeing that this is the energy deep within divine union that is amplifying their healing by articulating to one another, what would they have you do, right? And that the modality by which you are able, I keep wondering the clear path that you find in terms of identifying and articulating what would you have you do, right? The space by which one is able to define upon that, the space by which one is able to articulate and work and navigate towards something in a way that feels like it is sustaining, is I just keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy working through that modality or working through that experience, there's a lot of that energy. Like I keep on seeing that, like that's what I meant about, there's actually, I want to say there's new, like I feel like there's something about the energy deep within divine union that is actually focusing some energy on concentrating on what feels like it is restorative relationship outside of partnership. There's something significant upon that. I can see the energy that is, I told you they're going through like an auric clearing because it's the energy that says healthy energy wants to see us steadfast. And I keep on seeing that the energy is saying if there's something outside of partnership that is asking someone to do something that is energetically absurd, I just keep on seeing that like a lot of the energy doing that work is just kind of working through like it's the understanding. And I keep on getting like the determination of hermit mode, but also knowing that they're moving in the right direction. Continuing to get clarification between our Page of Swords in its reversal and our Knight of Swords in its upright. We've got the Judgment card in its reversal. And I gotta tell you right now, the thing about this is I'm actually reading into the energy right now. And this is a lot of the energy that I'm seeing right now for the feminine. The Page of Swords in its reversal. bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. I keep on hearing like the nice thing that we identify that is happening right now for a lot of I feel like the feminine energy is working through the modality or experience of others' preconceptions of them, is what I keep on seeing. And I keep on getting that for a lot of the feminine energy, and we've been talking a lot about this, it has to do with the ability to the difference between being the difference between being like cared for. I keep on getting the difference between being cared for and the difference between being cared for and held to a higher standard. You know, this is what I keep on seeing that's happening right now for the feminine. And that's why I almost see that for a lot of the feminine, the frustration upon that articulation, right? The frustration of the feminine working through the space that when I keep on getting, for feminine, it's never enough to be good. You have to become excellent, right? It's not the space. It's like I keep on seeing that for a lot of the feminine energy, like working through that modality or working through that experience, a lot of that, like I keep on, it's funny because I'm reading into feminine and I keep on hearing the feminine saying define excellence, because excellence is it's interesting too because it's exhalation, because it's also it's speaking towards the energetic frustration it takes to be energetically excellent, because it's almost the conversation that I see the feminine going through with masculine, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender but what one feels most aligned to, upon the fact that I feel like there's something about that ability of doing so that feels like it's so much harder, and especially in relationality to the fact that often the way the feminine energy becomes excellent has to be to defy the energetic expectations of those around them. So you can see the fact of the feminine working through the frustration point of the energetic position of that. And the reason that this is coming through is I almost feel like I see a lot of energy of feminine in separation, speaking upon that frustration towards counterpart. Remember how I said that for a lot of the energy right now that's working towards healthy union, like that feeling of frustration in terms of doing, like experiencing another person's projections that is amplified, by which you do everything you can, by which but another person articulates or identifies the feeling that you're not doing right. I keep on seeing that that is a lot of the feminine that is like almost building into relationship right now by articulating to masculine energy the frustration of excellence, which is the frustration of working towards something by which you're often feeling like you're misconceived or you're misperceived, or another person is projecting something onto the self. And for masculine, what I like to see here, particularly and especially, because we've got King of Swords, we've got King of Cups, and we've got Knight of Swords. So there's a lot of this different masculine energy, and this is a masculine energy building into partnership with feminine. I feel like this is masculine energy that is simultaneously also speaking towards feminine, but speaking towards the modality or the frustration of feeling like one needs to, energetically maturate into something. Right? I feel like there's a lot of masculine energy that is going through some kind of process by which somebody articulated to them that they'll understand when they're older. And I see somebody being like, I don't understand anything. But it's interesting because it's like, it's the energy that says that you'll understand when you're older. But I keep on getting the fact that this is the masculine that says, like, it's understanding that often, like when another person says, you'll understand when you're older, it's the amplification of someone taking advantage or like working through the space or the place of understanding that empathy is not something that's learned, through time. Is what I keep on getting. Empathy is not something that's learned through time. It's something that we actively work towards in the present. It's very convenient, right? It's a very convenient thing to say to someone that you'll understand when you're older, because that like that's always out there, isn't it? It's always out there. Like that doesn't mean anything. So I feel like there's something about this too. I feel like there's something beautiful, because I feel like this is the masculine that's almost trying to heal, do some inner child healing, that says, I'm working on making the present perfect, right? I feel like this is the energy of the masculine that says, even if I'm not perfect, I can focus that desire for perfection in what's around me, rather than working towards the identification point of perfecting the self. I keep on hearing like define, and it's interesting, right? So this is feminine saying define excellent, and masculine saying define perfect. Is perfect found in perfecting the self, or is perfect found in perfecting the environment around the self? Continuing to get clarification between King of Swords in combination with Two of Pentacles and it's upright. I mean, it's holistic, yes. We've got here the four of Cups in its reversal. Now we got to get back to these temperance relationships right now, man. These temperance relationships, I got to tell you, like this is emotional strength training, because I've got to, when I keep on getting, and I got to tell you, if you are going through this right now, if you're in a temperance relationship going through this right now, I'm going to be the one to tell you I'm proud of you. Because I got to tell you what I'm seeing here. You have to understand the frustration, the absolute frustration of someone having a trauma trigger. So trauma builds triggers in weird places. And then the articulation of, I keep on getting counterpart expounding upon something in a way, and their trigger being placed almost exactly in the same spot by which your trauma wants to be triggered. It would feel so good. I can see the energy. It would feel so good. That's a problem? It would feel so good. It feels like it would feel so vindicated. It's the energy being like, it would scratch the itch of the unhealed inner child. It would scratch the itch of the unhealed inner child so much, because it wouldn't just be the ability of protecting the counterpart. It would also be projecting. It would be the projection of being able to relive a trauma situation through the counterpart. But that's what I'm going to say to you right now. If you're going through this and you're a temperance relationship, remember that the key word that I said there is projection. And projection is not healthy. If it just because it feels good, it would make the past the present. So that's why I keep on seeing this energy going, I'm channeling the sanctity of partnership by building into a better present, rather than replaying some kind of energetic trauma of the past, as it were. Now, continuing for these energies, the magician relationships between the Two of Pentacles in its upright in combination with our Judgment card in its reversal. One card, please. We got that man. Five of Pentacles. And that's what I mean for these energies right now. I keep on getting, right, for a lot of, and I'm going to say this now, for those magician relationships, it's not going to be lonely all the time. I feel like there's something really profound that's happening right now for a lot of those magician relationships that are coming into divine union. It feels lonely in divine union, because I keep on seeing, remember, they're going through a pseudo-Saturn return. They're seeing a lot of different things happening in relationality to the shape of the energy that's around them. I keep on getting the message, it's not always going to be like that, right? I keep on getting, it's not always going to be like that when there's no turning back, because I keep on seeing that for a lot of that energy doing that work, the identification point or working through something in a certain way, I keep on getting that this is the energy that's going through and articulating to each other, saying we're going through a maturation cycle. And when we're going through a maturation cycle, it can often feel, right, much like when we're growing, it can feel like a lonely place to be. but I keep on seeing that that ability of doing so, like I keep on hearing that for a lot of that energy, hard, I keep on hearing hard to see, better to know. We know which way to go. Hard to see, better to know, we know which way to go, which is the understanding and the recognition point by which they understand and identify the direction by which they're moving. And I keep on seeing that they're finding energetic catharsis in those experiences and in those modalities, specifically and particularly because I keep on seeing that this is the energy that I keep on getting. I keep on just hearing the same thing over and over again. Healthy energy wants to see us steadfast. Healthy energy wants to see us energetically stable. And that's why I keep on seeing that if these are modalities or experiences by which they're going through healthy partnership and they're feeling rejection by others outside of union, that is the energy that goes, okay, that changes the shape by which they're identifying the relationship. And I keep on hearing it's calibrating backwards. It's giving them clarification upon things in ways that feel like they are profound. And I keep on seeing it's like bringing up a lot of emotions, but I keep on seeing that that is the space by which I keep on seeing that they're doing that work as it relates to, I also see they're not completely alone in those modalities. I keep on hearing that there's energy that's in alignment with them as well. And I keep on seeing that a lot of that energy doing that work, I keep on seeing that they're kind of like, how do I just, there's a word that I'm searching for, but that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's what they're doing. Like, they're literally, they're building into a new energetic, like, direction towards which they want to go. Like, I feel like this is them almost like, this is them coming into, and I think it's funny, like, I feel like it's the energy that is looking towards partnership with the same desire and determination by which they healed the self. Because remember that these are the relationships that came towards one another in their authenticity. And I keep on hearing like they're looking for a healthy home for their authentic partnership. Final card for today's spread between our Four of Cups in its reversal in combination with our Five of Pentacles in its upright. Ooh, we got here the Six of Wands in its reversal. So we got to talk a little bit about this energy right now, because here's the thing about it. We're going through a very prolonged retrograde cycle. There are a lot of planets in retrograde right now. There are a lot of planetary bodies. It puts a crimp on things. It makes things feel like they're not moving. It feels like things are not, it can often feel like a lot of energetic stagnancy is what I keep on getting, or frustration with the self. Some things I want you to kind of articulate or amplify upon as you're working through energy in this modality or in this experience. Like the one thing I think that is important to notate as it relates, and we've got a few other things that are happening in the next few days that I think are also really important to note. First and foremost, Jupiter is going to be going retrograde in Cancer. That can bring a lot of emotions up. We've also got the fact that in the same process by which we're experiencing that, we've got a Mercury retrograde coming up. And, I want to define this, and we've also got the fact that Uranus is moving back into Taurus. Now, all of this energy, and even in the space, like, and when Mercury goes retrograde, it's actually retrograding back into Scorpio. So I feel like there's something to notate in relationality to focusing and building upon a pathwork of purpose right now. Don't allow the modality of experience of over internalizing external problems to affect your energetic focus, because something that we see there has to do, and I keep on getting this, it has to do with the space of our intentions. And this is often why we don't deal with energy that's projecting onto us, because we can usually identify when someone's projecting onto us by which another person does not see our energetic intentions with the space of the positivity that we bring towards them. Have you ever noticed that? Like when you have the best intentions, but another person is projecting onto you, there is literally nothing you can do. Even though, like, this is what we mean by projection. It is the space by which there is nothing you can do to energetically appease someone who is projecting. Right? It is. It's like, because they're asking one to fit the mold of their trauma, right? And when someone's asking you to fit the mold of your trauma, then anything you do isn't taken with the empathy by which it's received. It's somebody who's like working really hard to focus, like putting you into the shape of their trauma. And so that's why often we give, and this is what we talk about, like the gift of proximity to someone that's in the space of projecting, because it's often the amplification of working through something that doesn't feel productive, but it almost feels like it's energetically frustrating. So that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy that is doing that work, it's like, and I feel like, and as I'm reading for this, like, there goes like that space between my heart and throat chakra. I feel like even in the space by which we articulate upon that, we often find solidarity, right? It's never missed. And I keep on getting that spirit misses nothing. Spirit always sees our intentions. So make sure that, like, I keep on hearing, like, make sure that you're checking your own heart space. Even in the wake of others that feel like they'd rather project onto you than check theirs. If that's kind of the message that I'm seeing there. And that's effectively something that's happening right now across all of the frequencies. Bottom of the deck, yeah, two of wands and it's upright. The life-changing power of a healthy conversation. And if you're ever not sure, right? If you're ever not sure if that's occurring, or if you're ever not sure if you yourself are in that space, I want you to articulate and understand that healthy conversation is literally the life breath of everything healthy. Because if we can talk through it, if we can articulate upon it, if it's something that can be energetically expressed, then it is something that can be healed, right? This is why we don't work upon building into resentment. Do you understand the ugly shape of the world that we create when we build into the work of resentment? You can do that. You can hold a resentment and build around it. It's going to be a really ugly thing you build, right? It's going to be awful. But that's why when we work to like let go of things, and this is what we talk about with healthy warrior energy, when we do the work to effectively release the things that we're energetically harboring, that it leaves the ability to create something more beautiful in the wake of pain, or in the wake of sadness, or in the wake of loss, or in the wake of frustration. It's the amplification of the care by which we articulate and amplify and we do things. And it's the work that we identify and work towards in terms of being able to like calibrate how we could be doing something more effectively. So I want you to kind of keep that in mind, especially as we continue through this prolonged like retrograde season. Identify those that also feel like they're moving in that positive direction. Identify those that are also kind of working into that space. And I feel like the ability to cognate upon it is also, I keep on hearing, it's good to talk about it. Because I keep on saying, like, the space by which we talk about things is the space by which we can refine and identify how we are doing something more effectively. So if you're not feeling certain, allow communication to fortify you. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it. Just a reminder, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site. So I would encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the moon card. Our next class will be held on Thursday, November 19th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the sun card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I always do my best to give you guys an update on everything we've experienced prior to having the next class, but it's a great time to join if you would like to join, because you'll be able to take any of those classes that you would like to take. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned and studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my stack, not only will you receive a discount on the whole year's worth of classes, but you'll also receive a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader, as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events, as well as my online live schedule. You'll also be notified as to any giveaway information, so anything that we're doing there as well. You'll also have access to my Mystic Meditation articles. So these are updates on what we've been experiencing energetically. I want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes, which are for any of my clients that are seeking a more specific journey between learning about your own personal life path. These classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. And you can purchase those on an individual level or as a monthly class series. You can also purchase my, for my clients that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings, which you can purchase per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow.